Good morning, world.
Good morning. Hear ye, all ye peasants of America. Our Lord and Emperor, Sir President Biden, has a message for all of you peasants.
I'm sure you've seen the mandates coming from up high for all of us to bow down to. So we're going to talk about that on this episode.
I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. And this is Cedric and Brian.
Okay, guys, welcome back. We're going to talk about Lord Biden's vaccine mandate, that everyone in the land must have the jab. It'd be one thing if he was going to bring back prima nocta. That'd be one thing, but he's going to force this. Dude, you're going to do something that's worthwhile.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Prima nocta. First night.
All right.
Name that movie.
We are going to go over and break down the press conference that Joe Biden had last week. I know we're late on this, but it's because we wanted to really get our thoughts in order. Oh, and we were out line dancing.
right. At the local tavern.
So before we start watching this conference by our esteemed president, after watching this, Cedric and I talked and we thought, things are going to start hitting the fan. So it is even more important that you are prepared.
Like Brian says, are you prepared? Do you have enough food, water, and other essentials to get you through tough times? If not, check out My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's #1 preparedness company, and they've served millions of American families just like yours. Right now, you can save 25% off their popular 4-week emergency food kit, which will keep you well fed for 4 weeks worth of breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks, totaling over 2,000 calories a day. This food stays fresh for up to 25 years in proper storage, so it will be there when you need it. In fact, you may need it a lot sooner than that.
So don't wait. Go to www.preparewithcedricandbrian.com.
So remember, that's www.preparewithcedricandbrian. You guys, make sure you're prepared.
Don't forget the .com.
.com.
Right up there. So let's get into this. I know it's going to be hard to watch again, but let's do it.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you, the people you work with, the people you care about, the people you love. My job as president is to protect all Americans. So tonight, I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated or show a negative test at least once a week.
All right. Let's break this down. I'm going to go back here and we're going to focus on a few things.
This is not about freedom or personal choice.
Lie number one from Joe Biden.
Where do we live?
You know what this is right here? I've been telling you to get this from the Cato Institute. This is the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. I know most of you, especially if you're younger than us, because even our age, we don't know this very well. They don't teach this anymore. They're too busy teaching CRT. Learn this. So, number one, of course he doesn't care about freedom.
It's about protecting yourself.
Okay, I'll go back there. So the governments and Savior Biden,
Lord Biden,
are here to protect us from ourselves. Again, I was reading through this. Is it supposed to protect us from ourselves?
No.
I think it's to protect us
from the government.
From the government. And what the president's job is to do is not to protect us from ourselves, to protect us from those that would harm us abroad or within our borders. Again, that's when we used to prosecute traitors.
Right.
Now traitors work for the government.
Right.
So, yeah, that's not the role of Joe Biden and the government.
And those around you.
So lie number 2. Keep track. I'm going to keep track for
Okay.
you. Lie number 2, the vaccine does not stop the spread. So it's not there to protect others.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So number 1, it's not to protect you because that's not the government's role. You're not supposed to protect you. They're not supposed to protect you from yourselves. And the vaccine doesn't protect you from others.
Right.
So there's 2 lies already.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Now, we know we have a distinct audience, but out of the 81 million people that voted, I'm assuming that maybe 1 or 2 of you are watching our show. So out of 81 million people that voted for this daughter, why are there literally thousands of people coming across the Texas border right now when all they have to do is set up a huge, easy up tent, take a syringe, and they could pump in transmission fluid? They don't care. They just want to come over here. Why don't they just simply pump them full of the stuff before they even come over here, if they're that serious about this?
Don't ask those questions.
But those who voted for him, I want that question answered. It hasn't been answered yet, because if we're that serious about this thing and there's thousands of illegal immigrants coming over here, why don't you just pump them in the shoulder as soon as they get over here? I don't get it.
No.
Data were clear. Now that we have a Delta variant, that has changed the entire landscape, because when you look at the level of virus in the nasopharynx of a vaccinated person who gets a breakthrough infection with Delta, it is exactly the same as the level of virus in a unvaccinated person.
So that's his own King Fauci. So we've got Lord Biden and King Fauci, or should it be King, who knows who's in charge of who?
Yeah.
So Biden said it's here to protect others. That's why he's remember, there's a reason he's mandating it. He's going to protect you from yourself, which he has no right to do, and then he's going to protect you from others when King Fauci just said it doesn't protect you from others. That's why you still have to double mask after you get the vaccine.
Yes.
So 2 lies now with this mandate, right off the bat.
So tonight, I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers.
I want you to remember that number, 80 million. Just remember that. Keep that in the back of your mind.
Quick question, and I keep interrupting you.
Well, I don't want them to forget 80 million.
Okay,
Now,
80 million.
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, why is the number 100? Why 100 employees? Why not all employers?
You know, it's a nice round number.
But it's like
Biden has to deal in round numbers, otherwise he'll forget. And that's
So
why.
that-
And that's why that 80 million is going to come and play.
that
later.
mom and pop shop that employs 20 people.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay, never mind. All right, I'm asking too many questions.
To ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated or show a negative test at least once a week.
Are those dentures?
So, again, we ask, is what he just mandated for private companies, and like he said, an arbitrary number of 100, is that legal or constitutional? Read this, please.
I'm too
Definitely
frustrated.
not legal, right?
It's not legal or constitutional. It's just it's a damn shame.
Damn
That's what it is.
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Well, if his patience is wearing thin,
Oh no, no, we don't want to get Grandpa and Chief upset.
right, he might call you a dirty lion, something pony or something.
Or
What
call
do
me
you say?
fat.
Or fatty. Yeah.
Or fat.
His patience is running thin.
Yes.
And your refusal has cost all of us.
Actually, the refusal for the government, and I'll go all the way back, to push for early treatment has cost all of us, not the vaccine. I want to reference this guy that I was just talking to Cedric about. His name's Dr. Peter McCullough. He spoke in front of the HSS department in Texas 6 months ago. 6 months ago. Remember, Trump was treated with monoclonal antibodies. Mm-hmm. He talked about hydroxychloroquine. Can we say that?
You just did.
Probably now. Dr. Peter McCullough, an academic and medical doctor who treats patients, spoke in front of the HSS board in Texas about how early treatment can save most people's lives. It's keeping them out of the hospital. That's the most important part. Why didn't the government do that? Why did they wait and they suppressed and they wouldn't allow you to do things? 6 months ago, and then he talked about it's 70% effective. And you're going to hear Biden later use that number again now when this was out 6 months ago. So, and all of you know the Joe Rogan story.
Yeah.
He's Cedric age.
Wow.
He was treated early.
Young fella.
And within a few days was feeling effing fantastic in his own words.
Yeah. I've had a few friends. I gotta bring up something else. So I talked about people coming over from the border, why they're not being automatically vaccinated. And I've had other friends tell me, well, Cedric, you just have to trust it because you don't know what's in the Big Mac. You don't know what's in the hot dog. You don't know what's in the Tylenol. You don't know what's in the tattoo ink. I said, but the difference between all those things, you idiots, is that it's my choice.
Yeah, exactly.
If I want to get a tattoo, I can get a tattoo. The government is saying you have to get a tattoo. You have to have a Big Mac. Yeah. It's my choice.
Exactly.
And then I had another friend say, well, that little blue pill, for those you didn't know, was also made by Pfizer. For those of you who need it, we're not promoting that, but if you need it,
we're not judging.
We're not judging. Nothing wrong with that. But that's my choice as well. Yeah. If you want to do that, no one's jamming down my throat and say, if you don't do this, you lose your job.
Yeah. No, I know. Scary stuff.
Many of us are frustrated with the nearly 80 million Americans who are still not vaccinated.
Get that number again? 80 million. Still not vaccinated. So he's used that 80 million number twice now. Mm-hmm. 80. That's a big number.
80, yeah.
Even though the vaccine is safe, effective, and free.
Okay. There's lie number 3, 4, and 5. Did you catch it? Okay, first, safe. How do we know? The early studies show that it's kind of safe for the most people. We don't know long-term effects. And I think you brought this up before that, or when we were talking before, that vaccines take years before they come to market.
Yeah.
Weren't you just telling me that?
Well, yeah. Brian, put this chart up real quick. If you look at this chart, COVID, it took 6 months to go from when it was discovered to having a vaccine. 6 months. The one before that, the earliest one was influenza. From discovery to vaccine was 12 years. And like you were saying, even that hasn't been,
and it's only 30 to 60% effective.
Yeah. Polio, from discovery to vaccination, took 45 years. And someone said, well, Cedric, with today's technology, obviously we could do it in 6 months. Then look at this chart. How come the people suffering from HIV don't have a vaccine yet? Explain that to me. If we're so great with technology, how come that hasn't been cured yet? This is a damn shame. I'm going to keep saying damn shame.
And HIV, that came out when we were actually young. So that was a long time ago. So, line number 3, safe. We don't know. Line number 4, effective. Look at the numbers. I'll bring up numbers in a minute. We just have to look at Israel. We have to look at all the people going to the hospital right now. And free. So really, do the drug companies give this stuff away for free?
Nope.
Anybody think it's free? It's coming out of, guess whose money? It's bank accounts it's coming out of. All of ours.
Well, we can't forget the fact that it's FDA approved. Like, wait a minute. Where does the FDA get 75% of their funding from? That's right. It's the pharmaceutical companies. There's no pressure for them to approve anything.
I know, but we're just conspiracy theorists.
Right?
This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Right here. So this is line number 6. So we're up to 6 lies.
The unvaccinated overcrowd our hospitals.
Lie number 7.
Only 1 out of every 160,000 fully vaccinated Americans was hospitalized for COVID per day.
Well, there's lie number 8. He thinks that we can't use the internet.
But make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, and like we said earlier, please share this video with everyone you know. And in the meantime, please continue being good to each other. Until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. We'll see you later.